Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here today. I am hopping on today to do a little bit of a talk about some Angora fiber, and for some reason I don't think I've ever done this video. I didn't look back, but I don't remember ever doing this video. So a lot of you ask me about if I can tell the difference between the fibers, and a lot of times I say I can't if I've blended them and stuff. But I did want to show you, I have each of the 4 different kinds of fibers that I raise here in my lap. And I wanted to show you those fibers. I wanted to spin some and just kind of talk to you about the different fibers that I raise here on the farm. So first of all, I raise 4 Angora breeds. I raise French, English, Satin, and German here on the farm. The only one that I don't have is a giant Angora yet. I've never had a giant. I've had a giant German cross. I think I've talked about that in other videos, but that's been many years ago. I also have a teddy litter, which I'll try to remember to link the video to him here. But a teddy litter is I'm not going to remember now, an Angora, a lop, and a lion head mix. I think I might be wrong on that, but so I have one teddy litter. He's kind of like a pet, and yeah, so I wanted to show you the differences in some of the fiber and how they spin up. And actually this will be the first time that I am spinning my Satin Angora. I got her just a minute, I have a cat that wants out. Okay, cats around here lately, they have been buggers today. So I wanted to go through the different varieties of Angora that I have here at the farm and just give you my thoughts on them. And not every, so like French have a bit more guard hair, but not every French I have has the same amount of guard hair, if that makes sense. I've talked about this before. The breed standards that, you know, people will say, oh, this is always true of that, or this is always true of the English Angora. Not always. I have learned that over the years. And so I have some rabbits that do have more guard hairs, and so I can tell that they are which rabbit they are, because you can tell by looking at the rabbit that they have more guard hairs, if that makes sense. So I have in front of me, and this is the one that to me is fairly similar to French Angora. So I have a basket of English Angora here, just picking out. I do have a few second cuts here. And so some of these are shorter. I ended up shearing some of my rabbits this spring when they didn't have a ton of growth on them. I'm probably going to end up using some of this fiber for felting, but I had to get it done just because of circumstances and stuff. And so this is sheared German Angora. I had to think of what I was going to say. And this one has quite a bit of crimp in it. I know you won't be able to see this. I don't know if you could see up by my finger. There's a lot of crimp in that. So that is my German Angora. One of them. I have 3 German Angoras. And so their fiber is, it does have a few guard hairs, things like that you can see, I think, but not a ton. And basically the Germans give you more bang for your buck. They are larger, and when you shear the German down, you're going to get more fiber off just because they're bigger. So that's what German Angora would be. The English Angora is, nope, let's see, do I have English here? I'll have to see. French, English. Yeah, that's French too. So the French, and actually I have 2 bags of French here. The French is known for their guard hairs, and so I have one white one that has a ton of guard hair, and you can see it, and that gives it a really amazing halo effect when you're spinning a French with this kind of guard hair. And that's the biggest difference. The English is, let me see if I can find, I might have to pause this again and go get English. I think this is all French. And the reason I can say that is because I can see all the guard hairs on all of this. And this is English also. And you can see with her hair, you can see all the guard hairs there. So when I spin this, I'm going to get a lot of this halo from the French Angora. Because of that. That just makes the yarn, I think it's beautiful. Some people don't like it as much. That's the stuff that bothers people's noses as I'm playing in it. My nose starts itching, but I just think it's gorgeous. Now, new to me is the Satin Angora, and I have just one Satin Angora, and I don't know if I can tell yet. I can look at it and see she does have some crimp to her. This is what I'm looking at. She is a black Satin Angora, and it is very, very soft. Like, even comparing it to my French, it just the, how would you explain it? Just, it feels softer than the French even. And that's what the satin, kind of one of its characteristics is. This one has a lot of luster to it too. I'm not sure if with the light coming through the porch door here, if you can see that, but that has a lot of, there's some second cuts here. When people talk about second cuts, this is what a second cut is. It's where you've gone over the same spot twice. So I need to pick some of those out. I try not to do that, but again, all of this was sheared this beginning of summer when I was trying to recover from my surgery. So the satin, and she does have some crimp to her fiber. Again, I wish you guys could be here to see this because I'm not sure that the camera picks up what I'm talking about, but I think you can probably see a little bit of that crimp here on the edges. So that is satin. Now English, let me pause because I do have a basket behind me. Okay, so English, to me, is kind of between satin and French in the way it feels, the softness factor of it. So this is my red English Angoras. They don't have the guard hairs like the French do. Let's see if I can pull out a piece here. And this is how I store a lot of my fiber when I'm going to be storing it, is just in plastic bags. So you can kind of tell the French doesn't have, or the English does not have quite as much guard hair as the French does. This is French, this is English. Now, that's not to say that that's the same for every single rabbit. And this, I think this came off of, let's see, Scarlet. Is my one English Angora. That's my mom that had the batch of babies, and she just has some beautiful fiber all the way around. So this was when I was talking the other day about carding and clipped fiber or brushed fiber, and that was the difference. So this is straight off the rabbit, and this is after I had carded it. You can see it does have the halo going on there, or it's going to have the halo going on, but they're much finer and not like the French Angora guard hairs. So there is some in there, but just not as much. So I would say the satin, and then the English, and then the French. Satin doesn't seem to have any of the guard hair at all, or very little of it. It's just such a soft, soft fiber. So I'm going to tilt you down. I wanted to show you, if I can move all this fiber without losing it here. I wanted to show you spinning some of this Satin Angora for the first time. Now this is sheared right off from her. It does have some, it's got little pieces of straw and stuff in it. Again, I am okay with that because I know where it came from. And these are easy to pick out. They're just hay and grass and straw and stuff that she's eating. When I have, sometimes instead of carding the clipped fiber, I will just go through and kind of fluff it out like that and sit it in my lap. Let me tilt you down and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I just have some of the blend that I just did on here. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'm spinning, the wheel is moving, And I am just going to put that right next to it, and that's how I attach it. Hopefully you can see that. Let me tilt you up just a touch more. There we go. So this is the first time I have ever spun satin Angora. It is really beautiful fiber. It almost has a velvety feel to it. That's a good way to explain it. Got a little clump right there I'm going to pick out. Very velvety feeling to it. So that would be the best way to describe this. It is really, really soft too. It's just beautiful. Spins up super easy. This is going to be quite thin yarn. I think you can see that on the camera or on the video. And I will probably, what I'm probably going to do with this, because this is all the fiber I have from her right now. I got her in April, I think, and then I sheared her in June. So that would have been her first fur, or first fiber, I should say, that I've gotten from her. And we talked about, in one of my past videos, I talked about what baby Angora looks like from when they're about 0 to 12 weeks old, and what you're going to get. And so this would be her first official haircut after that, after the baby fiber. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin up, I have just this bag of hers. I'll spin it all onto one bobbin, and then I'll ply it back onto itself and see what I get from that. And I'm sure it's going to be okay. So I think it's going to be beautiful fiber. It's going to have a nice sheen to it and softness, and I'm just going to ply it back onto itself once I get this all spun up. Now I've got several spinning things to do this afternoon to fill up this bobbin here that's brand new. So that's all for today. I just wanted to chat with you a little bit about the different varieties of fiber and of Angora fiber. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. I'll be glad to answer them. And yeah, if you don't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you're creating something. Bye.